Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a good week, and I hope everyone will have a wonderful Shabbos. This week's Erev Shabbos video Dvar Torah is sponsored anonymously with Hoda to Hashem and with brachos for lasting peace. For Klal Yisrael, we thank the anonymous sponsor. We join those tefillos and we daven as we do every Friday, every Erev Shabbos, davening for the entire Jewish people. The week ahead should be a good week for the entire Jewish people, for the land of Israel, for everyone living there, and especially for those who are defending it. We find ourselves in the period of Sfiras HaOmer, counting the days from Pesach to Shavuos, and the mitzvah of Sfiras HaOmer appears in this week's Parsha, Emor Usfartim Lachem Mimacharas HaShabbos. And although this would not have been part of the original Torah mitzvah, the period of Sfiras HaOmer now carries with it a certain element of sadness and mourning. In medieval times, this was a period of the year, the springtime, when the pogroms and the crusades were the worst for the Jewish people. And even before that, the Gemara already records that it was during this period of time between Pesach to Shavuos that the students of Rebi Akiva died. 12,000 pairs, 24,000 students, decimated what would have been the center of the Torah learning and Torah transmission in that period. And why did the 24,000 students of Rebi Akiva die? The Gemara says it was punishment because shelo nagu kavod zelazet, that they did not respect one another. They were disrespectful. They were mean. They bullied. They were not kind. They were not considerate. And because of that, they were punished. And the great irony, or perhaps tragedy of this is that Akiva was the sage. He was the Tana of the Mishnayos that stressed how we treat other people. Akiva was the one who taught that to love your neighbor, your fellow like yourself, to treat with care and concern and love and respect the other person. That is the central organizing principle of the entire Torah. That is where Akiva taught. So if so, how could his students fail so miserably at it? How do we put these two pieces together? And I think there are at least two ways to understand this. The first is to say that, yes, in fact, Akiva was the one, he was the Rebi who was always telling his students, it's important how you treat people. That's more important. That's the most important thing. And he would always talk about it, and he would always teach it. And yet, for whatever reason, his students did not absorb it. They ignored it. They did not listen to that lesson of their teacher. And they disrespected the people in the Beis Medrash, and perhaps all the more so the people outside of the Beis Medrash. And it was because of that they were punished so severely. It seems a severe punishment to wipe out 24,000 people because they were mean, because they were not nice. But perhaps specifically because they were students of Akiva, they should have known the most. They had the greatest model of Ahavta l'Reacha Kamocha, and yet they ignored it, they learned it, they rejected it. They rejected the teachings of their master teacher Akiva. For that, they were deserving such a severe punishment. Or we can understand it in the exact opposite way. That Akiva did not originally teach that V'ahavta l'Reacha Kamocha was the most important principle. Maybe he didn't realize that, or maybe he knew it, but for some reason he didn't feel the need to stress that and to teach that to his students. And it was because of that that they did not learn the lesson, and they therefore treated people incorrectly, not perfectly, disrespecting when they should have shown care and concern. And thus they were punished. And it was actually because of the tragedy Akiva realized how important V'ahavta l'Reacha Kamocha is. He only learned that. Akiva only came to that realization that Zeh Klal Gadol b'Torah after the tragedy. That is how he learned it. And in response to that, he made it his life's mission to make sure that everyone would understand how important V'ahavta l'Reacha Kamocha, how we treat people, how we care for people, how that is the central principle of the entire Torah. So whether Akiva knew it before the tragedy or whether he learned it after tragedy, Akiva now is the master teacher. V'ahavta l'Reacha Kamocha Zeh Klal Gadol b'Torah. The 24,000 students of Akiva, the students that they would have, the Torah they would learn, the Torah that they would teach, that was all wiped out. And it is upon us to fill that in, especially during the period of Sfiras HaOmer, to be one of the students that Akiva lost. To become, we should identify as Talmidei Rebi Akiva in all of Rebi Akiva's glory, and in particular in his fundamental teaching of Ahavta L'Recha K'mocha. It is so basic, so it seems so simple, but because of that, it is easy to forget and not focus on it. That the most important thing is how we treat people, how we care for people, how we talk to people, how we talk about people, that we should be sources of love and positivity and joy. We should make the lives of other people better. V'ahavta l'recha kamocha is a kal gadol b'Torah. That is something to think about every day, every week of the year, but especially during this time of Sfiras HaOmer. Shabbos, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.